Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. Boy, I'm sorry. I know. My low is the fact it took way too long for me to get this video started. It's actually noon at the time I'm recording this. Reason being, I was just doing a lot of stuff this morning. I wanted to get a lot of really good work done. And I like to think I did. I like to think I got quite a bit of work done today. I did. I don't know why, but lately it feels like I want to do work, and I do it, but I kind of want to do more, But, it's, stop. Yeah, I know when you're done, and I'm done. I'm here right now. I really want to talk about Hot Ones, because that really was my high for the day yesterday. My kindness was, holding the door for someone. And with that out of the way, let's talk about the fact that Owen Wilson was on Hot Ones. And before I get into that, actually, let me look up one thing. Hold on. Because I have my notes out in front of me. Hold on. If I can. Okay, yeah, so, let's see, So with that said, we've had, as of yesterday's episode of Hot Ones, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members of the Frat Pack on Hot Ones. What is the Frat Pack? It's basically this group of 9 actors who have appeared together in many of the highest grossing comedy films since the mid-90s. As of yesterday, we've had Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Will Ferrell, Jack Black, because he was in Tenacious D, Seth Rogen several times, Paul Rudd, and Vince Vaughn. All that's left are Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson's brother, and Steve Carell. But that's it. We've had 7 out of 9 members of the Frat Pack on Hot Ones. Which, speaking of which, during yesterday's episode of Hot Ones, there were callbacks to both Ben Stiller's episode and Vince Vaughn's episode. Which, makes sense. Owen Wilson has done work with Ben Stiller on a lot of projects and has done a lot of work with Vince Vaughn on a lot of projects. It's actually really cool. Actually, I'm looking it up right now. So there was another group called the hold on. Never mind. So, with that said, that's really cool. That, we've had all these members of the Frat Pack on Hot Ones. Again, we've had Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Jack Black, because he was on Tenacious D, Will Ferrell, Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd. That's 7. Now, with that said, I was correct when I thought that Owen Wilson was on Hot Ones to promote his new show, Stick, which is on Apple TV. It's about a washed-up golf legend who's coaching a young prodigy in the sport of golf. And Sean asked, what makes golf a good vehicle for comedy? And golf offers a lot of opportunities where success really isn't being as funny as failure, and there's always capturing that despair. To give you an example, every now and again I'll watch golf with my dad, And even now, after seeing it so many times, there'll be like those golfers who, like let's say, let me say it right here. Like let's say the hole is like right here. I'm putting right here, and like I hit it, and the ball just barely misses the hole. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh, that hurt. That hurts so bad. But I also can't help but laugh at that a little bit. That's just how it is. He talked about how what his thoughts on Zoo, because when Ben Stiller was on Hot Ones, he talked about how Zoolander 2 was harshly judged by critics when it should have been, and Sean wanted Owen Wilson's thoughts, and is there a movie that Owen Wilson has done that he thinks was either harshly treated by critics? For starters, sometimes a movie is just big and that's it. Like Zoolander was, like the first Zoolander was, for instance. At the end of the day, well, he said Bottle Rocket, which was the first movie he worked on with Ben Stiller. But, I mean, people will always walk up to any given actor and talk about all the most popular projects in their filmography. But every now and again, there'll be one person that says, I saw you in this one thing that no one really talks about that much, and then almost like, yeah, this guy gets it. And Bottle Rocket is that kind of movie. He talked about his favorite childhood literature, which is Treasure Island, and he talked about how, like, that's actually a project that he would love to be able to work on. Actually have the original Treasure Island be adapted into a film. He said there would be a lot of English actors, and it would be scary. The pirates in that story are actually a lot scarier than you let on. And you know what? I actually kind of hope Owen Wilson makes that happen someday. I really hope Owen Wilson, at the very least, helps produce a project where, we get, Treasure Island as done by the original book. Until then, though, I will say the definitive Treasure Island movie will always be Muppet Treasure Island. Seriously, I've seen that movie so much, I could, me and a friend of mine have both seen the movie so much, we could probably quote that movie verbatim. With that said, he talked about his summer job at Blockbuster, which, man, some people are going to hear Blockbuster and be like, Blockbuster? What is that? Oh gosh, I remember Blockbuster. I barely ever went inside of the Blockbuster, but I remember it alright. They fact check a few movies, like there's a BB in his brother's hand. There was a lime in his shoe to maintain a limp in Dalshin Unlimited. He put baby food on his face from Marley. He's like fact checking a few things. He talked about the hardest film he was in that was hard to make was Armageddon because he thought the spacesuits were uncomfortable. He talked about how he really just loves to swim in the ocean, which, I mean, growing up, I believe he said he lived in Texas, and his summers would go into where his grandparents live by the ocean, to swim in the ocean. So then, you know what? I will say this: as an upstate New Yorker who lives near, the Finger Lakes, I can say I am blessed to know that there are, beautiful bodies of water where, for the most part, you can, jump in and have a good time. But there really is something to be said about looking at the sheer vastness of an ocean, marvel at just how small it makes you feel, but then you just go in and you have fun. And I think, I gotta go with Owen Wilson. I do see the appeal. If I have an opportunity to swim in the ocean, I'd be like, yeah, I want to swim in the ocean. Maybe, like, let me get famous first. Then I'll put some of these plans into fruition. Let's see. Ooh. So, they get to the Bond Beyond Insanity, and they played the recurring game that ones is known to do is name that tagline, which actually Vince Vaughn, he was on, also did name that tagline, and he was 7 for 8. Although Owen Wilson says, has anyone ever gotten 0? I'll go in the other direction. Well, to Owen Wilson's credit, he did get a few. Let's see. 1 week, no rules, hall pass, he didn't get that right. Family isn't a word, it's a sentence. We're on Tannenbaums, he didn't get that right either. Adrenaline-fueled, heartwarming, triumphant, that was Cars, he didn't get that either. East meets West with a Vengeance, Shanghai Noon, he got that one. Heal the Love, Marley and Me, he got that one right. When You Can't Breathe, You Can't Scream, Anaconda, he didn't get that right. 3% body fat, 1% brain, that was Zoolander, he did get that one right. So, that's 3 for 7. I mean, it's not 0. I'll say that. I mean, I'll be honest. If I was ever in like a bunch of movies, there's like, I'll be honest, I hardly ever see movie posters anymore. Like, I'll go to the movies every now and again. I hardly ever look at the poster. So, much less look at, whatever the tagline of the movie is. I'll be honest, the fact that Owen Wilson got any of these right, that's astounding. Me, on the other hand, like, if I'm in a bunch of movies and I get something wrong, I'm not going to get the taglines at all for my movies. I mean, I'm sure I'll probably get like 1 or 2, but there's no way I'm going to get any of them right. Such is my luck. He talked about not too comfortable being around David Letterman, because he's like that figure that is like that teacher you respect, and like you're worried you're going to mess something up, which, you know what? I've experienced stuff like that before with several authoritative figures in my lifetime. I get it. That's a natural way to feel. And for The Last Dab, they did a thought exercise where he's on he's on the tee of the 18th hole, like what's his inner monologue, going through like light grip pressure, relax, left arm straight, don't sway, right elbow tucked in, and just let it rip. You know what, I'll be honest, I've never been golfing before. I definitely respect people who do. And I would like to do it someday. But I'll be honest, for anyone... Sorry, I'm tired. Golf really is that sport that requires great skill. And even, you really can be the best. And it's so unpredictable, too. Because, yeah, you could be on a course that you've played, 100 times. And chances are, whatever scores you get on a golf course are never going to be consistent. Because there's so many factors involved. I mean, just your own personal health alone makes a huge impact on how you play in any given sport, much less golf. Being outside in the elements, is it windy outside? Is it hot outside? Is it cold outside? Is it raining? There's a lot you really need to take into consideration when you're golfing. And not just I mentioned your health, not just physically, mentally too. are both your head and your heart in the moment. I mean, yeah, what I just said, you could apply that to really any sport. But golf is just one of those things where it's not high adrenaline, it's zero impact in terms of, physical impact, like football, for instance. And it's just it's fascinating. It's like my fascination for golf over the years is the equivalent of my fascination towards because my fascination for like NASCAR has grown too. Like both require skill in different ways, but in a way, all athletics are cut from the same cloth when you get down to the bare bones. So, yeah. Honestly, this was a great episode of Hot Ones. I think Owen Wilson did a great job. Actually, so to my knowledge, the vast majority of everyone who's from the frat pack, has done really great on the show. We just need to see Luke Wilson and Steve Carell, which could happen. I could definitely... If Steve Carell was ever on Hot Ones, I know one question Sean's going to ask will be the waxing scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin. That's going to be good. Oh, gosh. I actually just watched it the other day when the Try Guys posted another one of those waxing videos. Oh, gosh. That's the sort of thing where you need to have kind of a sick, sadistic sense of humor to really enjoy. Which I do. I hope you all like this video. If you like this video, YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humbled to make this video for all you guys watching Joe Vanille. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to us, we can let me know back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.